administrator today. I will call the meeting to order at 3:04. Jennifer, would you announce the staff members present, please?
I will. We have planning manager Hill, associate planner Sabdo, who will be serving as the zoning administrator today, senior associate planner Schmidt, and myself, recording secretary Cleary. And also, members of the public are encouraged to join our meetings via Zoom Gov, a secure service that connects you live with no lag time. This meeting is also streamed live on youtube.com/City of Monterey with a 10-second delay and Comcast channel 25 with up to a 90-second delay. If you would like to provide public comment, please join the meeting using Zoom or by telephone, making sure to join in time to accommodate delays. To join the Zoom meeting from a computer or phone, use the link or phone numbers on the agenda posted at isearchmonterey.org. Since the meeting has begun, you'll find the agenda under the Recent tab. To join by telephone, dial 833-568-8864 toll free, then enter the webinar ID 160-666-5889. Once again, that phone number to join is 833-568-8864. And the webinar ID is 160-666-5889. If the first number doesn't work, please try another. There are more listed on the meeting agenda at isearchmonterey.org. If prompted for a participant ID, press pound. Detailed instructions for using Zoom are available at monterey.org/public meetings. To provide public comment via Zoom, please use the raise your hand function at the bottom of your screen. To provide comments by phone, dial *9 to raise your hand, then *6 to unmute when called upon. Public commenters will be announced using their last 3 phone number digits or the name typed into Zoom. Public commenters will be muted until it's their turn to speak. Please turn off TV or computer speakers or go to another room while connected, as background noise interferes with the broadcast. Public speakers will be called upon in order of hands raised. There's a 3-minute time limit for today's meeting. Please stay within that limit.
Thank you, Jennifer. Let's move on to item 2, the consent agenda. The draft minutes for Thursday, July 20th, 2023. Fernando Raveri was the zoning administrator that day. I was not in attendance, but I did review the Zoom recording of the meeting. And so I'm eligible to review and approve the minutes. I reviewed the Zoom meeting and the minutes, and I do not have any changes to the minutes. And I will approve the July 20th, 2023 minutes. Let's move on to public comments for items that are not on the agenda.
I see no hands raised online or in the chamber.
Okay. And we can move on to item 3, consideration of 230 Alvarado Street use permit amendment application PA 230141 to allow a retail sales use at an existing recreational touring vehicle use. Applicant Adam Foster, C-Car Tours, property owner Custom House Hotel, VAF zoning district, and it's within the commercial general plan land use designation. It's exempt from CEQA, Article 19, Section 15301, Class 1. Chris, is there a presentation?
Yes, thank you, Zoning Administrator Sabdo. My name is Chris Schmidt. I'm a Senior Associate Planner for the City of Monterey, and had been working with the applicant and business owner on this application. So this is a fairly minor amendment to the existing use permit to allow retail sales. And so to start with some background information. So here's the project location. It is located in the waterfront area. It's within a commercial space in the Portola Hotel. And actually, correction, I guess this is not within the waterfront area. It's near the waterfront, but it's actually in the downtown specific plan planning area. But that specific plan does not apply. This site is zoned to VAF, visitor accommodation facility. So those regulations apply. So just a bit of further background information. So C-Car Tours is an existing recreational touring vehicle rental business, which was approved in 2015. That approval was documented under Resolution Z15003. It was approved by the zoning administrator then. The existing storefront is used for reservations, education on how to use the vehicles, distribution of helmets, and then the scoot cars themselves are stored. The scoot cars are these yellow cars that you may see driving around town. They're stored in the Portola Hotel garage. The applicant has applied for this amendment to allow retail sales of prepackaged foods, drinks, and merchandise that's generally for their customers. Things like chips or other snacks, sodas or waters. No alcoholic drinks are proposed here. And then merchandise like shirts or hats or maybe a keychain, those types of things. So here's a floor plan and a couple of photos of the existing storefront. They would just have a couple of small tables and a fridge for the new retail items. It's worth noting this is about a 500 square foot space. This space will only take about 150 or so square feet of the room and isn't really the primary component of the use. So the first finding that must be made for approval of the amendment to the use permit is that the proposed use is in accord with the objective of the zoning ordinance and the purposes of the VAF zone. So retail is allowed as an accessory use with an approved conditional use permit. The general plan land use map designates the site for commercial use and retails consistent with that use. There are two parts to finding number 2, so I'll start with the first part that which is the proposed use and the proposed conditions under which it would be operated or maintained will be consistent with the general plan. As I had previously mentioned, the general plan designates the site as commercial, and it also includes general plan policies within the economic element that's encourage the city to support small businesses and uses that increase retail tax revenue. The second part is that the proposed use will not be detrimental to the public health, safety, or welfare of persons residing or working in or adjacent to the neighborhood of such use, and will not be detrimental to the properties or improvements in the vicinity or the general welfare of the city. This proposed use is located within a commercially developed area, and the scope is limited to retail sales of food, drink, and merchandise. So staff has not found that there's any sort of negative impact to the surrounding area or neighborhood. And then the last finding is that the proposed use will comply with any specific condition as listed in the conditions of approval, and staff has only included some of our typical conditions of approval for the use. So with that, the staff recommendation is to approve the use permit amendment with those conditions. Thanks.
Thanks, Chris. I do have questions for you.
Okay.
The first question is, so the existing accessory use is a recreational facility. My question is, does the proposed accessory use retail sales have the same parking requirement, or is there a different parking requirement for retail sales?
It's a good question. Retail technically does have a separate parking calculation. Because this was such a small area, I didn't really think that parking was required, and then it was also something that doesn't really generate new traffic other than the customers that would already be coming to this business. That being said, I did look at the original development of the hotel, and it did include excess parking for all of the shops along the Alvarado Mall, and so the parking was developed to be provided for retail uses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does the proposed accessory use require additional water? Has the applicant coordinated with the Monterey Peninsula Water Management District to determine that?
I don't believe the applicant has reached out, and the staff has not reached out, but I did look at the non-residential water use factors that the Monterey Peninsula Water Management District requires, and it's not a change in the group usage. Would still be a group 1 usage, so there's no change.
Okay, great. And is this property located in the coastal zone?
No.
Okay. Okay. Is the applicant online? I don't have any questions for them, but
The applicant is online. If you have a
They want-
presentation or if you'd like to speak at all, now is your time. You can dial *9 to raise your hand or use the raise your hand function on Zoom. And that hand went up. Adam Foster, you have the floor.
Yeah, this is the owner here. Just want to say thank you for working on this with us. We have a lot of customers that come in with kids or families that come in, and we think that this will provide some additional revenue for our company, but also improve the customer experience. They've been asking for some kind of snacks or drinks or something when they're there. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I'd like to open up the floor for public comments. Jennifer, would you let the public know how they can join via Zoom?
Yes. To join the Zoom meeting from a computer or phone, use the link or phone numbers on the agenda posted at isearchmonterey.org. To join by telephone, dial 833-568-8864. That is a toll-free number. Then enter the webinar ID number 160-666-5889. To provide public comment via Zoom, please use the raise your hand function at the bottom of your screen. To provide comments by phone, dial *9 to raise your hand, then *6 to unmute when called upon. I see no hands raising. I don't think anyone wants to comment at this time.
Thank you. I'd like to close public comment. Okay, so I've reviewed the staff report, the resolution. I agree with staff's findings. And I would like to approve the project with the findings that are in the resolution, the draft resolution. I would like to add one condition of approval in addition to what's already there, to read that use permit 15043 is amended to allow retail sales with the commercial space for the business C-Car Tours and existing recreational touring vehicle use at the Portola Hotel at 230 Alvarado Street. And with that, I approve the use permit. This decision may be appealed within 10 days to the Planning Commission on forms found online or in the planning office. And with that, I adjourn the meeting.